Hello there. Come on in. Me, please share and invite someone. Thank you for joining us. Come on in. Please share and invite someone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful day. Thank you so much. Let me know where you are from. Let me know where you are from. Uh, there you go. Let me know where you're from. Invite someone. We are going to have a great discussion on this wonderful, wonderful early morning. So invite someone. We're going to talk about the psychological trauma in dealing with a narcissist. Psychological trauma, dealing with a narcissist. Sometimes the psychological trauma can go unnoticed because there's no obvious signs of it. And so the psychological trauma is just as devastating as all the other traumas, even more so. Hey, Valerie, how are you? God bless you. Thank you for joining us. Oh, I know. I'm so glad that you called me live. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited about you joining me. Come on, make sure you invite someone. Thank you so much. Let's talk about this psychological trauma. What does that mean to be psychologically traumatized? And many of you have went through that with the narcissist. A lot of verbal abuse, a lot of devaluation. You do things and they tell you what they want to be done, and when you do it they criticize you for doing it. Hello there, all the way from Savannah, Georgia. All right, Valerie, welcome, Savannah. Good morning to you. What time is it in Savannah? What time is it in Savannah? Let me know what time is it in Savannah. Hopefully you can hear me clearly. There you go. What time is it in Savannah, Valerie? God bless you. All righty here. Uh, what time is it there, Valerie? Where you are in Savannah, Georgia. You know, we're going to be in Georgia on the 30th of July. We're going to be with Dr. Carmen Bryan, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, at her conference. Hopefully, Savannah, you can be there. Hopefully, you can be there. So, we're looking forward to you joining us. So, Savannah, what time is it where you are? What time is it where you are? If you can hear me plainly, Valerie, say yes. If you can hear me plainly, Valerie, say yes, I can hear you. Hopefully, we're not having any audio difficulties. If you can hear me, say yes. Okay, it is 5:55. Okay, all righty. You are early bird. Thank you for joining us on today. Valerie, I'm so glad that you are with us. We're going to talk about psychological abuse with the narcissist. And many of you have went through psychological abuse with the narcissist, where you've tried to convince someone that you were being abused, but because there was no apparent evidence, like a physical violation, they thought that maybe you were imagining it, especially if you have a covert narcissist that does everything underhanded, undercovered, and they are so mesmerizing. She said, yes, I can hear you very well. Thank you, Valerie. So, Valerie, let's talk. Um, the narcissist that you're involved in. Have you ever experienced psychological torment, or you tried to convince someone that psychological trauma was happening and they denied that? What did you do in the prospect of the and in the face of what you were going through? Because psychological abuse, many people got PTSD from psychological abuse because it happened, it was so traumatic, or CTPSD, where it's constantly ongoing. And the narcissists, especially the higher caliber narcissists, understand the validity. She said, yes, indeed. Yeah. They understand the validity of psychological abuse, especially if they know that you can call the police or you can get help, because if they hit you and give you a black eye, that is evidence. That is undisputable, is indisputable and undeniable. But when you get that psychological abuse, you have to convince people that it is happening. And the psychological abuse can cause just as much trauma as physical, and even more so, because the physical can heal, but the psychological takes time to heal. And sometimes people are psychologically abused by the narcissist because the narcissist need to control every arena of your life. And how the narcissists do that is through the violation mentally. He close in your mind. He make you feel through gaslighting that you're crazy, that you don't understand what is happening, that what you saying is not happening. Get you so confused until you start denying the truth. So Valerie, talk to me. What do you know about psychological violation, psychological abuse? Have you ever tried to relay it to someone and that person told you that it was totally impossible? Because the covert narcissist is a narcissist that most people cherish. They're nice, they're not overt, they're undercover. Everybody likes the covert usually, especially when they're a people's person, because they win them over and they have to be the life of the party. Let's talk about that. Valerie said, yes, indeed. Absolutely. Absolutely. So, Valerie, then let's talk about this. Hey, Claire, how are you? Good morning to you. Good morning, Claire. We are talking about psychological abuse, what we experience from the narcissist, and how the narcissists, many of them, get away with psychological abuse because the telltale signs is in behavior mode. There's no physical violation, and a lot of times people don't believe you, especially if you have a covert narcissist or the somatic narcissist. She said, I was with him for 32 years, divorced now for 7 years. She said, and I went through all of this. Wow. 32 years, Valerie, that's a long, long time. Do you find that even after you divorced for 7 years, you are still having traumatic episodes? You are even having where you are in the process of healing, and those flashbacks or those triggers are still undergirding, and you really have to fight, even though it's 7 years. It was 32 years of being with a narcissist. That is a long time. So, Valerie, tell me, what was the ending of it? Were you discarded or did you leave? Did you have to leave? Claire, how are you doing? She said, he had everyone convinced that I was the problem. Absolutely. Yeah, usually that's what the narcissist does. They get the flying monkey or they get the narcissistic fleas to join with them. And they do believe that you are the problem, because that's what the narcissists do. He said, love your knowledge. Oh, thank you. This is Claire. Love your knowledge. He said, and I experienced psychological abuse. She said, where I live, I see all of what they wanted to see. So it's a mental counsel. The police, my foster mother, the kids, she said, godparents, no one is listening. Oh, wow. She said they have convinced he's military. Ooh, that's even worse. But yeah, because there's a military structure, and the military is just like doctors. They join together as a family and protect each other. And you know what, Claire? A lot of people don't listen because it's psychological. And if the narcissist can get to your family, get to your friends, and they get those flying monkeys, they will convince them, just like Valerie said, that you are the problem instead of the narcissist being the problem. But you have to stay sane. You have to feed your mind. You have to even talk to yourself to convince yourself, because that gaslighting will have you tripped up and confused. Hey, there's Zing Bio, how are you? She said, I can't even speak the mental health that they don't get it. Absolutely. And usually that's the case, especially with the covert narcissist. Thank you so much, Zingbio, for joining us on this morning. You know, the covert narcissist is very sly, they're very subtle, they're very charming, they're very observant, and whatever they do under the radar. And the reason they do under the radar, they're not overt, so they're not loud to other people, but they may be loud and boisterous to you, because you got an outside narcissist and you have the inside narcissist. The inside narcissist is the tormentor. The outside narcissist is the one that seems to get along with everybody. Hello there. How are you, Garita? How are you? Thank you so much. Good morning, all the way from California. Yes. Hey, California, how are you? And I'm glad that you joined me on this morning. We are talking about psychological abuse. Let's talk about that. I love what Valerie was saying. Valerie was saying, you know, many people think I'm the problem, and I'm not the problem. The narcissist is the problem, but he is so undercurrent. She said he keep overseeing after he retired and come back on the attack. Now, you've been away from him for 7 years. Does he try to hoover you still, Valerie? After 7 years of divorce, do he try to come back? And what is your greatest fear? What is your greatest fear? Is he a covert? Is he malignant? Or is he somatic, cerebral? Which narcissist is he? Can you tell? Because the narcissist, based on the grade or the school of the narcissist, you have to take very, very, very great care in dealing with them. 32 years, I'm quite sure your experience has told you that. And the narcissists, what they do is they get a whole entourage of people with them, and they get these people to think something is wrong with you. That's why the narcissists prefer psychological abuse, because there's no outward evidence. And then when you begin to complain, the character of the narcissist is not equivalent to the complaints that you're making, because the narcissists look like they're okay. They're friendly. They're laughing with people. They're pulling in your friends, pulling in your family. And then they will smear campaign you. How do they do that? By smearing you. They take and get behind your back and say, you know, I'm really concerned about her. I don't think she drink, but I smell alcohol. I'm worried about her. They will do anything to get that person to doubt. Like Valerie said, they thought she's the problem, and it's the narcissist the problem. And especially if he's military, he has all of these disciplines that he's exercising with the narcissism. She said, ooh, he's a covert. She said, and because I didn't know, she said, because I did not know, I didn't know to go toe to toe with him, with the evil man. He got worse. Absolutely. So he was a covert narcissist. He's the slick one. He is the charming one. And if you notice, most people, they love those covert narcissists. The way they come on. Overt just let you know, hey, I'm here. This is what I am. You get it or leave it. The covert is always the undercurrent. They're the caterer. They massage your emotions. They cater to your emotions the whole time, waiting in line to abuse you. She said, he hated that I wouldn't let him punish without punishing back. Wow. And listen to Claire. Claire said, the covert is not obvious. They even get people to tell me that I'm being spoke about, but I know and see that it's a social media private group. So is he smearing you on social media, Claire? Is he smearing you on social media? And has he got your friends to join with him? into the flying monkey and the smear campaign. When the narcissist tries to devalue you and the devaluation don't work like they want it to work, the first thing they'll do, if you give any rebuttal, you can expect a smear campaign, because that's their next line of fire. And that smear campaign, they go to your most trusted friends, trusted families, and put a seed in there and cultivate that seed. Zimbio said he switches from overt to covert. Absolutely. So he can be violent. The only thing about the switch of a covert to an overt, you have to really, really, really watch that, because that can be dangerous in the overt, because he can be really, really, really high strung, high charge. And when he gets angry, the angry turn to rage. And so please be careful with him. Garita says I left my husband 3 years ago. He is a covert narcissist. We have a 7-year-old girl, and it is very, very, very hard to co-parent. With a narcissist, it is. It's hard to co-parent, because really, if you think about it, it's no such thing as a co-parent. They dominate, they lie, and they're not going to abide by all the guidelines of the court. Hey, Lori from Detroit, how are you? Thank you for joining us. She said, I don't know. She said, I don't know. There's so many against me. I just have intuition that I'm being talked down on. She said, and it's friends, family. I fell out with a couple of people for many to turn on me. You know what? That's a smear campaign. She said, I gave up co-parenting, because it's impossible with a narcissist. How can you co-parent with a person who wants to control? You can't co-parent with a person who's totally selfish. It's never about the child. When you're dealing with a narcissist, it's always about the narcissist. They don't want to parent. They don't want you to parent. They don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to be with the child. So any objections to your happiness, that's what they want. And if they could take that child, if they could poison that child, they'll do it. It's the court system. And this is why I tell people now it is being more recognizable that there is psychologically abuse, especially if you have a diagnosis of your husband being a narcissist. If you have a diagnosis of them being a narcissist, then you can prove that character. It's hard to prove without a diagnosis. And most of the time, the court, if you don't have hard copy of abuse, assault, the courts will give you a subsidized parenting. That means you share parenting rights. And you can see that child, a lot of times the children don't even want to be with the parent, or they're trying to win the parent over. And the narcissist knows that the child wants more than anything to please that parent. But the narcissist will poison that child, because the narcissist's main thing is to take full custody of that child and make it look like something is wrong with you. Claire said, my parents have been impacted. She said, I'm less of a mother than I was 3 years ago. Honestly, Claire, why do you say that? Why do you say that? Why do you say that you're less of a mother? What makes you think that you're less of a mother? Because of what the narcissist is putting you through. That has nothing to do with your parenting ability. You are traumatized by the narcissist, and you may be going through trauma. And these traumas are the effects of that trauma may be a disassociation or a lack of appreciation. It may be diminishing your value, but I don't think you less than a parent, a good parent. I really don't. And Valerie said, he recruited my mom as a flying monkey and would call my dad, sister, and brother-in-law, but got very angry with the ones who didn't go along with him. Of course, absolutely. Absolutely. Totally devastating, because remember the traits of a narcissist: they over exaggerate their sense of importance. And a narcissist hate to lose, a narcissist hate rejection, and oh my God, they can't stand abandonment. And disagreement to them is abandonment. Disagreement to them is rejection. And they think that you should be privileged just to have them in your life. That's the narcissist, because they have an over exaggeration of their person. Their mind think like that. So of course he don't care about anybody that he can't win over against you. And he don't want to win them just for himself. He want to win them against you. So when he do the smear campaign, they will agree. And really what he's trying to do is put you in the realm of isolation, because you will feel like, Valerie, if you have nobody on your side, you'll feel lonely, you'll feel lost. And then if he ever do a Hoover and you feel lonely, you feel lost, you feel abandoned, you feel like you need somebody, guess what? That's his forte. He's back in the picture. 32 years, 7 years of divorce, no way, Jose. So your parents, he's still communicating with your parents, communicating with your friends, then you can't tell them anything, because they'll go back and they will tell him everything he needs to know. It's the people he can't win. It's the people he don't like. Those are the people that you can trust. Those are the people that you can relate to the things that you're going through. There's a reason he don't like them, because he can't break them. They won't let him in their hearts. And especially when he's a covert, his gentleness and his little cheeriness is not working with your family. Are you there, Claire? I really want to talk to you. My parenting has been impacted. I'm less of a mother. Oh, that just tears at my heart. You're not less of a mother. You're not less of a mother. Claire, do you have like a support group that you can go to, or do you have friends that are parents that you can talk to about the psychological abuse that you're going through? She said psychological abuse is the worst. It is. It is the worst, because even if he psychologically traumatized you and you call the police, and the police looking at you, you have no evidence of scars. He's saying, I don't know what's wrong with her. I love her. I try to give her everything. She's never satisfied. I don't know whether it's her medication. You may not even be taking medication. And he'll say, I don't know whether it's her medication. And now the police are in doubt. And Valerie said, because it's true. I don't take my kids anywhere. She said, I don't buy everything my kids need as well. This is Claire. Need as well as what I need. I resort to smoking to keep these people out of my head. You know what, Claire? That is trauma. That sounds like PTSD. And when you go through a traumatic situation, PTSD usually lasts for 30 days. CPTSD is something that's ongoing. It's ongoing. And smoking is what you use to throw off your emotions so you don't have to deal with it. But it's not the cigarettes that's going to help you. You need a good therapist, a good therapist, a good trauma therapist that can help you with what you're doing. You know, psychology today has trauma therapists that specialize with narcissist abuse. And if you look them up, you can even tell them, I referred you to them. And I'm telling you, you can get help. You're not a bad parent. You're just a stressed out woman. That's not being bad. And you know your limitations. Claire, do you have friends that you can trust? A friend that you can talk to? She said, I'm waiting for parenting course to get back what I was doing. Absolutely. Garita said, the emotion and mental abuse is exalting. It hurts to know my daughter goes through it too. So you are still with the narcissist. And this is it Jarita or Garita? He has not hoovered me because he always afraid of how creative I was. and get around his evil doing. And Loria says, yes, charming in front of others, and a monster at the house. That's the way they play. She said, I had friends. So you don't have friends now? Hey, Christina, how are you? She said, haven't seen alive in forever. Oh, I'm so glad that you're here today. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us back with the live. Boy, we got a heated conversation here talking about psychological abuse. And it can be phantom in the mind when you are experiencing psychological abuse, because you start to question yourself, because nobody believes you because of the evidence, especially when you're dealing with a covert narcissist. And Claire, I am glad that you are taking classes, that you're getting back to who you were, that you love your children. You are not the abuser. You're not the abuser. You may abuse yourself. And because of the abuse of yourself, you're not able to love out like you should. And that's why it is so imperative that a therapist, that friends, if you can't trust your family, he turned everybody against you. Claire, go to the library, get a positive book, read to the kids, read them. And then sometime, Claire, just hold them. Even if you don't feel like it, even if you don't feel like you deserve them, just hold the kids and just tell them you love them. That's not bad parenting. That's being traumatized. She said, what is the difference in a malignant and a covert? Can they be both? They can. They can interact. They're like, I think that was, who was that? That was saying theirs was an overt and a covert. Because sometimes narcissists can display other grades of narcissists or other schools of narcissists. They can be malignant and covert. They can be malignant because a malignant narcissist is dangerous. If they ever threaten you, take it seriously. And a covert is always under the radar. They do things maliciously. I mean, they are the one that everybody loves. They're your charmers. And these charmers stay under the radar, but they can be vicious too. They are just not overt. But the malignant one can be very, very, very dangerous. That is the difference. She said, there is hoovering though. She said, but they be hoovering evildoers. She said, I believe everyone was a friend. I was a people pleaser. She said, I put me and my kids last. I already have attachment trauma. I love my kids. I know you do, Clara. I know you do. And if we can convince you of that, sometimes the healing is in the touch. And maybe that's what you need to do. Let's try touching the kids. Let's try hugging the kids. Let's try being with the kids, listening to the kids, play with them. If are they small kids? She said, they always tell me they love me. And they too wish we move. So Clara, are you still with the narcissist? Do you still live with the narcissist? Are you still there? Clara, are you still there with the narcissist? Age 7 and 10. Okay. All right. They're still touchable. They're still very impressionable. She said, and this is Zingbio. He says, what did she say? She said, you never left them, Claire. They know you love them. Absolutely. I applaud that statement. She said, I'm not with him. I am not with him. I am in the process of divorce. She said, but I see him almost every weekend because I refuse to let my daughter be alone with him. Ooh, absolutely. She said, no, I'm just in the community of them. Okay, explain the community of them. Who is them? Is this the family, including the narcissist? Is this, what are you talking about, them? What do you mean you're in the community of them? Clara, I want to see how we can help you. I want to see what we can do to launch you forward. And Valerie says, He moved to Virginia 6 months after divorce, only to return once in the past 7 years. Thank God. Yeah, that is a praise. Old friends. Okay. I'll email you. Please. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. Hey, Tina. How are you? Good morning, Tina. Good to see you. Yes, Claire. Definitely write me. Destiny Helper 12s at gmail.com. If you email me, I will respond to you. I would love to talk to you because you are highly underestimated. And sometimes when you go through system of devaluation with your family, with your friends, and when everybody turn on you, you start looking at yourself as if it's your fault. And it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And I love what she said about the kids. They always love you. Your kids will be there for you no matter what. And I'm telling you, your parenting skill, your love for parenting, your love for your children, your love for yourself, it can return with self-investment. It's not over, Claire. Nowhere near over. And I want us to, on this port, to embrace Claire. Let's strengthen her. Let's encourage her. Let her know that she can make it. She said yesterday's session was so amazing. You know what? It was. And boy, time went by so quick. We're going to do it again. We didn't even touch the surface. You know, everybody, we had a webinar yesterday. We had one from 9 to 12 and one to 4. Oh my God, it was awesome. Tina was there. Thank you, Tina, for being there. And thank you for being the wonderful person that you are. Zingbio said, Claire, sing to them. Absolutely. I believe singing to them will even heal Claire. Zingbio, good suggestion. Excellent suggestion. Claire, just a little time, just a little time, just a little investment in yourself. And I can tell that you've been through a lot. And see, that's what we're talking about. The psychological effects of narcissist abuse. This is psychological effects of what you've been through. Claire, how long were you with the narcissist? How long were you with the narcissist? A 7-year-old and a 10-year-old, that's a lot of energy. They need a lot of time and they love you so much. And believe it or not, what you went through, they were right there with you. They were right there with you. Tina says, thanks for seeing that. She said, I know who I am inside and I'm working to find her again. You will. You will. If you stay with the program, Tina, you will rediscover the beauty of yourself. And that's the one thing the narcissists hate. The narcissists hate when you rediscover yourself. Because if you rediscover yourself, you can redefine yourself. And when you redefine yourself, you're going to come out better. Claire said, I know the roles I play in people's lives, but it isn't worth deforming my character by projecting everything they are onto me. Absolutely. She said, and I say that because there is many. I split from their dad almost 6 years ago. Ooh. Have he tried to hoover or support? Do you have any support for the kids, or are you doing this basically by yourself? Are you doing this basically by yourself? Because Claire, did you know that even in this kids' school, if you let a teacher know that you are struggling in some areas, they have programs that could really help you, that could really encourage you. They can get you into groups, support groups, and other women that can really cater to that. She said, how can I prevent my daughter from becoming a narcissist like her dad? Oh, baby, how old is your daughter? How old is your daughter? Hey, Queen Sunshine, how are you? Blessings to you. God bless you. Thank you for joining me. How old is your daughter? Why are you concerned about your daughter becoming a narcissist? Ah, yeah, Tina is on board. I'm so glad to see her. A narcissist, when a child is traumatized and they're not able to express themselves and they go into themselves, all that pain, all that trauma go into themselves and they're hidden within. And then that's when the hatred start, the frustration start, the aggravation start, and it's hard for them to come out. Narcissists are formulated like that. Clara says, she said, but I have a lifetime. I didn't even know he was abusing them. Ooh, he sent 200 a month and that's it. She said, and he has shown up to my flat, but ignored it because I told him the abuse I'm facing in the community. He has them as, hey, Demi, how are you? She said, hi, and good morning to you. She said, skip my question. Give me your question again. I didn't see it, Demi. Give me your question again. Claire, school is out, but there is a program. There are YMCA's programs, and all you have to do is contact the YMCA. Let them know I'm having difficulty with my kids. I'm coming out of an abusive relationship. I'm raising my children, and I'm noticing these traits within me, and I want to get in a course or I want to be with a support group. I wouldn't tell them about neglect or the kids are suffering. I would just say that I want to be able to give to my children more, so I need a support group. The YMCA can help you. The YMCA can help you. They can give you different programs that will help you financially. They will give you support groups that will help you. In psychology today, the only thing about psychology today, they do require insurance. So if you have insurance, you can utilize them. If not, the YMCA can do referrals and they can also assist you financially. So if you have a YMCA, let them know that you want to go and you've been through a terrible relationship, you have your children, and you want some help for them and yourself, and they will assist you. And you don't have to stay there in devastation and doing this by yourself alone. Yeah, you do not. Okay, Queen Demi, what was your question? Did anybody catch Demi's question? I didn't see Demi's question. Demi, put your question up again so I can catch it. Put it up again. Put it up again. Clara, I'm really looking forward to speaking with you. I'm really looking forward to talking to you. My heart is with you and my mind is on you because you're going to make it. You're going to make it. The kids are going to be fine, but you got to capture them now. They're 7 and they're 10, and they done been through some things, and we can get some help for them. And don't be afraid to talk to the school. You can throw out a little bait there to see how knowledgeable they are, because you have to talk to the right person to get the help. And remember, the YMCA is there for you. It is a free service for you, and you can utilize them. And they will help you get into support groups. They will help you with your children financially, things that they need, clothes, all of that. So look for a YMCA. She said, my husband, this is Loria. She said, my ex-narc was very controlling. She said, and turned many against me. And that is the testimony of today. She said, and was a serial cheater, and we have sons, and we have 3 sons, and he refused to help with them or support them financially. That's what the courts are for, baby. You got to use that court system. She is 7 years old and she gets angry easily. She says things like, I want to move to China, or that she wants to be with God. She's probably anxious. She's 7 years old. How long have you been away from the narcissist? Garita, how long have you been away from the narcissist? Did she grow up with the narcissist there? She said, yes, I have. She said, yes, I have 5 and had to leave the ex-narc. She said, I didn't think to go to YMCA at first. She said, and I have a church that I go to, and they are connected with other children. Good. That's Queen. That's good, Queen. And Claire, that's why I'm telling Claire that YMCA is specifically for women, designed for women, and is designed for women in distress, women in a severe situation. They can assist you. They will help you. They will put you on programs. They will give you support. They will give you support groups. They will make sure your children have clothes. They will make sure you have food. There's things to help you to pay the rent. There's things to help you to pay the utility bill. All of these services are available to you, and you can get them through the YMCA when you're trying to do it by yourself. She said, I'm so sorry to hear that, Garita. Absolutely. Absolutely. And the daughter probably just done been through some things, and she's angry. How you can stop her from being a narcissist? Get her involved. What does she want to get involved with? You know, and it may take some time, and she may need a therapist. If she have been through some of the things with you, with her dad, you know, or she may need to talk about some things. So a therapist will really, really be an enlightenment for her. It'll be a help for her, because sometimes kids need to express themselves. They don't understand what happened. They don't know how to express themselves. They got all of these things on the inside, and sometimes they don't know how to protect you, and they blame themselves for that. She said, I sent 3 questions, no response. Demi, I have not seen any of your questions. I'm looking for your question. I got everybody else's response. Okay, Demi says, hi, good morning. You skipped my question. Okay, I see that one, but I don't see what Demi asked any other question. Okay, Demi, it didn't come up. It did not come up, Demi. So, but I got your response right here. She said, we've been away for 3 years. Wow. Okay. So she was a young girl with that. So she was probably about 4. So that means that she would see our therapy, that is really good. If she can draw out her emotion, that was really, 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 really good. Queen said, all 5 is mine. All 5 of hers are in therapy. Good job. If you smell a narc, run for your life. Yep, because it's going to be the same, and they do not change. They get worse as they get older. So whatever you're going through, if you can magnify that about 1,000 times as they get older. She said, do you have BOTS? What is that? What is BOTS? What is bots? What is bots? Zingbio. What is bots? When you have a child that is going through, you're going to have to open that child up. And a lot of times what is happening, if the father has poisoned the child and start a smear campaign and turned the child against you, all of that has to be reversed. And what happened is it confuses the child. The child sees, but the dad talks to the child because the dad pulls the child and speaking the child when you're not there, because he wants to isolate and control. And art therapy is very, very, very good. She said, I will block them if I see them. And this is Tina. Tina said children are resilient. She said, but they need a chance to express themselves and process. She said, I am a teacher of over 30 years. Absolutely. You know what? This is good. She said, bots are people in your chat who are fake automator users. Oh, okay. So, well, Zimbio, could you, I'm gonna make you my moderator. If you see something that's not right, let's get rid of them. But Tina, I was talking to Claire about sometimes the school have different programs that can assist parents that are having difficulty with children, and they can recommend different programs for them if they in need of support system, they're in need of clothing and different things like that. Could you express that? I want Clara to read that. She said they come in the chat and they are artificial chat members. She said this family and friends were psychologically abusive as well. Wow. She said they were a part of the facade. Okay. She said, and they were friends with all of his lovers and supported him in being with the other woman. Okay. You know what? When you recognize that a friend is a flying monkey, you have to get away from them. You block them, you don't talk to them, you don't tell them anything, because now they're no longer with you, they're working for the narcissist. Everything they do is for the narcissist. They tell the narcissist where you're going, they tell the narcissist what you said, they tell the narcissist what you're doing. So the best thing, Zimbio said, I am looking. Tina said, yes, lots of program. Many schools have family resource centers. Absolutely. I need that for Claire. I need that for Claire. I'm going to, Claire is going to email me. Tina, I need you to send me some of those things I want to. She said, ask a trusted teacher to speak with the school counselor. Absolutely. Absolutely. Claire, are you listening to this? Are you hearing this? Does this give you consolence where you know that you're not alone, you're not a bad parent, and you can do this? This is Queen Sunshine. She said, that's crazy, Luria. Many times they turn everyone against us. She said, he uses to talk bad about me to my family. She said, and I have audio of it. She said, but then he goes and run to them and talk about me. She said, and I'm glad that I realized it was him. All right, Demi, you continue to skip. All right, let's get Demi out, because Demi is not asking questions, guys. Let's remove. There you go. Let's remove Demi. There you go. So, we are getting some answers for Clara, and I like that. She said, Demi, we don't see your question. No, Demi didn't ask a question. Yeah, Demi didn't ask a question. I believe Demi was one of the ones that the young lady was talking about. So we are removing her out. And if you see, block them. Absolutely. Okay, Tina, I wasn't trying to delete your message. I need you to put that back. I was trying to delete. I was trying to delete Demi, and instead, yeah, that's what I was trying to do, delete her, because she didn't ask questions, and she kept coming in saying that Demi is fake. Absolutely. That's why I deleted her. So let's get back to Clara. Clara, did you see what Tina wrote? That you can get help from counselors. And until school start, you can go to the YMCA. And the YMCA will assist you in any area that you want. And this is why I was telling you the narcissists, they specialize in psychological abuse, because 7 years they're gone and you still traumatized by what they did. You still traumatized by the lies they told. And so that's why psychological abuse is so horrific. CPTSD and PTSD can occur from psychological devastation. And the thing about it, most people don't even believe it. She said, hey, Queen Sunshine, it was very crazy making. She said, I felt crazy when I was around him. All right. That is a good word. I had never heard bot. So I'll remember that word, B-O-T. B-O-T. And see, one thing, and the one thing that narcissists love to use above every other thing is gaslighting. Because gaslighting give you a self-perspective of negativity. And so you start doubting yourself. You don't know what's real and what is not real. Loretta said, hey, Queen Sunshine. Okay, we read that. Apostle Sadler, the Family Resource Center are open in the summer too. Okay. So, Claire, you can go even to the school in the summer, she says, and there's help for you. So, Claire, you can go to the school. They have a system for the summer that you can go and get a system right now. You don't have to wait for the school time. And there's a school resource center that is able to cater to you in a support system for your family, a support system for your children. And Queen says, do elementary school have therapists? She said, I leave at 4 a.m. and come home and don't come home to 7:30 p.m. She said, I don't have time or the money for a therapist for my 7-year-old daughter or myself. Tina, that would be a question you can answer. She said, do the elementary school have therapists? And I'm sure they have counselors. She said, my son is grown and in counseling now because of all the psychological trauma they endured. Absolutely. Queen said, I'm so glad that you're free from him. Yes. She said, and I was in it for 17 years and I know how it feels. So this is Garita is asking Tina the question about therapists. Tina said that if you go to the resource center, family resource center, you can do it in the summer. They can refer you to one of the counselors, and maybe the counselors can get the therapist that they need. And some schools do have therapists. I know that some of the high school, and I'm sure that the elementary school, with all of the trauma shootings and different things that are going on, they have allowed therapists to enter the school. So Tina, can you answer that? She said schools have resources. Okay, this is Queen and Garita. I'm going to ask that you stick with us on the conversation. Can you do that? Can you stick with us on the conversation so we can keep a straight line? We don't want to break rank with the conversations. Tina, that's good that you answered that for Loretta. So that lets you know that was that Garita said, do the schools have elementary? The elementary have counselors. And Tina said the school have resources. So they do have resources to cater to you. She said, yes, schools have meetings to address the needs of children, from special education to clothes to food. That is excellent. So now you know that you can go to your local school for some assistance, especially if you're short of money and you don't have the insurance that you need to get the resources that require the insurance. You can go to the school. Tina, I'm so glad that you were online tonight. You really brought some answers to the people. Thank you so much. She said we do telemarketing. Okay, so Queen, that conversation, I'm gonna ask that you curtail that conversation, so we can stay focused. We want to stay focused on the psychological abuse of the narcissist. We want to stay focused on what the people need. We want to handle what they need tonight. Um, Queen, and is that Garita? If you want to have another conversation, you can give each other email, and you can do that there. But we want to stay on the psychological effects. She said, Christine and I were up late. Okay. She said, play therapy or art therapy is good for kids. Absolutely. She said, thank you, Tina and Queen Sunshine. You are so welcome. I'm so glad, Tina, that you came on. Claire, are you still on? Claire, are you still here? I'm hoping Claire is still here. I definitely want to reach her. And Tina, thank you so much for that. She said, I want to state that Medicaid pays for our counseling. She said, and I was thinking this would help her get her children in counseling. She said, sorry, I thought I was sharing with therapy information. Okay, that is a good help. That is definitely a good help, Queen Sunshine. We want to get all the help we can for those who need it. And those of you who may have limited resources, there are some good answers coming through tonight. And Tina, being a teacher of 30 years, definitely have an expertise. So we want to access that. And if you need that, look at the information on this. You may have to go back and reread some of the channels that came through that has your answer. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you, Queen, for that information. And see, the one thing about psychological abuse, when you're with the narcissist, you're not the only one suffering the abuse. The children, even more so, because they feel helpless. They don't understand. Their minds are young. They're confused about everything that happened. They just know that you're supposed to love them. They just know that you're supposed to care for them. They don't understand when this mixed energy comes. You get negativity, positivity. Then they start blaming themselves for the environment and what happens to the parent. Apostle Helen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say telemarketing. I meant to say telehealth. Okay. That makes sense. Oh, girl, you are forgiven. Thank you so much for such good advice. I really, really appreciate it. We really need that right now. Tina said, Apostle Helen, email me anytime if you get any request. She said, I have taught everything from preschool to college. Absolutely. Absolutely. My heart just goes out to Claire, where she felt like she wasn't a fit parent, and she is. She's just devastated. Psychological abuse is not easy to deal with because psychological abuse is own and reoccurring trauma because you are always with your mind, you're always with your thoughts, you're always with your ideas, and the narcissist knows that. And the higher grade the narcissist, the more experience they've had in that psychological trauma. And usually when you get the malignant narcissist, the overt narcissist, they can be very abusive, or the lower grade narcissists can be very abusive because they don't know who they are. They know that they're different. But as you go up to the mid grade and the greater, they understand what they're doing. They understand who they are. They've had enough experience. They've had enough people that they traumatized. And some people have even committed suicide. I had a young woman today that got a friend, and he was a male, but he was married to a narcissist. And they found him in his truck where he ended his life. And it never has to go to that extent. It never, ever has to go to that extent. You can be reached, and there are reachable people. that care about you, that love you. The narcissist torment you is not the end of the world. If you are still with the narcissist, the torment will continue. And there have to be ways of escape. And this is why there are programs with domestic violence. I want to give you a number if you feel that you are in a domestic violence situation and you need help and you feel like there is no help. There is. I want to give you that number right now for domestic violence. Let me get that number for you right now. It is 1-800-799-7233. Never feel like there's no help. Never feel like there's no hope. There is an entourage of programs that can assist you. Those of you that are with the narcissist and you're still there, you're still living with them, what you got to do, you got to build the strength of your mind, because the narcissists feed on negative energy. The narcissists feed on your sadness. They feed on your breakdown. They feed on the trauma. And that's why you get into trauma bonding. They traumatize you, love bomb you, traumatize you, love bomb you. And this makes the bond, their grip, even stronger. It doesn't seem like it, but it does. So, psychological trauma is more damaging than physical trauma, even though physical trauma can be damaging in long term. Both of them are damaging. The only thing about psychological damage is nobody can see it. They see the effects in you, and then they start the accreditation. Where did that come from? If you got a malignant narcissist, he's going to usually display himself. They're going to soon find out he's malignant. You got a narcissist that's overt, he's going to go off because they usually maintain in rage. You got a covert narcissist, they are a little bit different. You have a somatic narcissist, they are impressive. People are impressive because they go into imagery. You know how they look, what they drive, what they wear, and the kind of job they have. So based on the count of narcissists is the count of impression that is made. Zambio says it's hard because you are trying to keep mind, body, and soul together. It's hard to parent at the same time. It is. That's why you have to build your mind. Reading is powerful. It stimulates the brain in a different way. And what you have to do, and you can go on YouTube, get positive affirmation that keep telling you who you are. Because for every negative one word, it takes 13 words to one negative word. And if you got the narcissist devaluating you all day, can you imagine how many positive words you need for all the negative words they've spoken to you, all the negativity that you've experienced? You know, it's just like a covert would tell you that I want you to come home. I want you to come right home, but I want you to stop by the store. You stop by the store, you got what the narcissist want, and then you come home. The narcissist said, what took you so long? You said, well, I stopped by the store to get what you want. No, you didn't stop by the store. You just wanted to stop by the store. I wanted you to come home. Well, I did what you said. They can never be pleased. They can never be satisfied because on the inside, this narcissist has this gaping hole that you or nobody else would ever feel. And it's hard when you're being traumatized to parent. You're trying to keep your mind together, like Zambio said. You're trying to keep yourself together. And you're trying to parent while you're keeping your mind that's being attacked. And sometimes physically being attacked. And you're trying to keep your health while under tremendous stress. And all of this cortisol is released in your body. And it's released. And when you get so much cortisol released, it breaks the alert system. Where the alarm that tells you back up, freeze, run, fight is broken. And when that's broken from all that cortisol and it builds up in your stomach and you notice you're getting large around your stomach, you're having intestinal issues, you're having heart problems, you're having all kind of problems. Why? Because of the cortisol that the brain is releasing throughout your body. You have to maintain that stress. Being with a narcissist is a highly stressful situationship. It's not even relational because there's no relating. The narcissist is totally selfish. It's totally about them all the time. Tina said, it's so hard to explain what we have been through. She said, and we are so shamed and blamed. You know what? You don't have to be shamed. Why should you be ashamed of what you experienced? A lot of things we experienced, we didn't even know what we was experiencing. We know that it wasn't right. She said, oh, I'm out of it now. Thank God. And you thanking God. We're praising God with you. But a lot of times we didn't even know we were in the narcissist relationship. We knew it was different. We knew it was weird. We knew it was odd. We knew we couldn't put our hand on it. We know they didn't act normal. And then we noticed the effects on our bodies. What was happening to our minds? What was happening to our bodies? What was happening to our energy? We seemed drained. We seemed exhausted. And no matter how much energy we got, we needed more and more and more. And it didn't matter how much you give to this person, you need to give more. You gave so much of yourself till you lost yourself. And you notice you start aging and they started getting younger. You start having sleepless nights and they didn't need any sleep. Most narcissists don't need a lot of sleep. They keep you awake or they word salad you. You never reach the point in an argument. You never resolve an issue in an argument. So it's psychological torment because they run rampant with words until you get back to first base. And then you start thinking, what are we talking about? And they start saying, you know what? You always do that. You always come at me. You always. And they stereotype. Your kids are looking at that. Your kids don't know what to believe. And if you are being physically assaulted, he's screaming, he's cursing, he's raging. The children don't know what to take. They don't know what to believe. They think it's their fault. And kids would absorb. They are little absorptions. And they will absorb all of that. She said, as my mother would say, I can't put my finger on it. Yep. She said, but frankly, I don't want to. Word salad, sleep deprivation. Oh, yes. All of that. And that is psychological trauma. When the narcissist doesn't let you sleep, they take an issue and they talk about it all night. And just when you think you are resolving the issue, they go right back to where they started. Hello there, Monique. How are you? They go right back to the first part of the conversation and they do it all over again, especially when they know you got to get up at 5 or 6 o'clock. And the next thing you know, the alarm is going off and you've been talking all night. You're tired all day. They start back in on you purposefully. You are psychologically impaired. You're physiologically exhausted. You're trying to parent kids that are active and you have no energy. And pretty soon you are confused and then you start breaking down psychologically. She said, when we realize what disorder is, we have no choice. We have to leave. There you go. Bam. That's in a nutshell. There you go. Zimbio, I couldn't say it better, so I'm going to put a period at the end of that statement. Absolutely. Because if you get into survival mode, you're going to either die there or get out and live. You choose. It has to be your choice. Don't stay in a place and die when you have so much to live for. Don't stay in a place and lose yourself when you have so much of you to find and to discover. You can build on your experience. Even if it was a devastating one, it doesn't have to remain that way. Hey, Tommy. She said, criticism is unrelenting. Absolutely. Okay, how did I lose that? Let me get that one back. Where is Tommy? Where are you at, Tommy? Okay, I don't know what happened there. The criticism was relenting, and that's true. They never stop criticizing. They never stop torturing you. In order for the narcissist to be happy, you have to be unhappy. In order for the narcissist to be at its height, you have to be miserable. Because the narcissist has this gaping hole on the inside of them. And the narcissists with kids feel like those children are an extension of them. It's ownership. And they feel like they can do anything they want to do with those children. Garita said, I was a single mom when I met the ex-narc. She said, until the day he always devalues me. Until this day, he always devalues me and uses it against me. Sends me videos of men saying single moms are worthless. Don't believe that? He wants a reaction. He needs to feed his negativity. And he wants a reaction from you. He know it'll make you angry. That's why he send you, as a single mom, videos about single moms. This single mom got the narc. Don't let the narcissist lie. Those are hoes. Those are his hoes. Those are voice. Those are his voice. Those are not your voice, baby. Being a single mom is powerful because you are loving your child. So don't believe anything they say. They are vicious, habitual liars. Like most of them are habitual cheaters. If you look at some of the most successful people, they had single moms. In the sports arena, single moms. Single moms can be powerful. They're the mom and the dad. They're the breadwinner. They're everything that child needs. They're running to and fro with that child. Don't let anybody tell you that you're worthless. Turn it around. You're saying I'm worthless because those are your feelings, not mine. And Queen, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. That is the truth. Wow. That is really something, that he would take time to send you those videos to make sure that you feel totally as nothing, because that's the way he feels. He feels as nothing, and he wants you to feel his feelings. He hates that he can't love. He hates that he can't give. He hates that he don't have compassion. He don't even understand it. When a narcissist try to understand empathy, they don't understand empathy. That's why they have to imitate it. That's why they have to mirror you, because they don't understand it. They take all of your good traits and take responsibility for it. They steal your traits and they want you to take their negativity. Thank you, Zimbio. She said, block them. Let's do it. So when the narcissist send you videos, do you know how much time it takes for him to look for those videos? You know how much energy he's putting in getting that to you? That's a lot of energy. So he has to be refueled. When he send you videos, he more than likely have to go to some supply to fuel him, because all of that energy went out to make you feel bad. And then he have to go to another supply to refuel, just to come back to get videos to make you feel bad. Because energy is used to do any service, any work. Isn't that something? Thank you, Zimbio, for blocking them. She said, I deleted because I second guessed myself. Please don't block. He was on my high street last week. I pretended I didn't see him. He doesn't live in my neighborhood. Ignore him. Okay, so we're going to ignore Tommy. Zimbio is doing it. All righty. Zimbio is doing an awesome, awesome job. Add moderator. Okay, Zimbio, you're the moderator for this channel because you are on it. You are on it. And so the narcissists, remember, they thrive. Every disability with a narcissist is their happiness. And you have to remember that. You have to fight for your mind when you're with them. And I'm telling you, even when you leave, you have to heal. And a lot of times you have to walk through the pathway of pain to get to your healing after you leave. So you can imagine the devastation of being there with them, living there with them, constantly getting this over and over, constant devaluation, constant devaluation. And then after you leave, you got to walk through the memory and the triggers and the trails to get to your healing. Now you have to say whether that's worth it or not, because it may not be. It may not be worth it. He used to question me about what was love and empathy because he couldn't understand. And that's the truth. They can't. But do you know how much they hate you because you can? And if you notice, how long did it take the narcissist to tell you, I love you? Not long. Because their experience with those words, because they don't understand it, it's easy for them to use it. And because we're caught up in that persuasiveness, we fall for it. Because they know those are powerful, powerful words. She said, I'm about to drive to work. This information is a blessing. Queen Sunshine, thank you. Thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much for taking the time to get on board. We love you, girl. And you have an awesome, awesome, awesome day. We have a few more minutes on. She said, they other ladies too. They have other ladies too. Is that what you're saying, Zimbio? A serial cheater is never alone. Never. Most narcissists are not. Not all narcissists cheat, but most narcissists do. And Queen Sunshine said, I love y'all as well. Keep listening while driving. We'll keep listening while driving. All right now. Come on, guys. Let's make use of these last 10 minutes. If you have any questions, Tina came on. She answered some questions. I think Claire had to get off. I'm going to reach out to her as she reached out to me. I really, really, really appreciate your answer. Zimbio, you have been awesome. Thank you so much for watching over the port, making sure that we didn't get those wrong activations in here. Queen said, I love you as well. Yeah, absolutely. We want to make sure we don't get those trolls scrolling through here. Let's take advantage of our last 10 minutes. We're going to have this again, and I'm going to come on live again because I know it is approximately 4:11 in the morning in the great metropolis of Seattle. So I really want to appreciate you all for being with me and for taking this time. She said 2 days. Ha 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 ha. Okay. Zimbio. I must have missed something. Zimbio, what kind of joke is that? What did I miss, Zimbio? What did I miss? Oh, okay. What is the 2 days? Alrighty. You know what? I really appreciate it. It's been a long time since I did a live, but I'm coming back on live. You know, my travel schedule is extensive, but I love talking to you and I love talking to you live. Those of you who do not have Clubhouse, please download Clubhouse. Join me on Monday morning at 7:45 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, where we can hear you and enjoy your voice and have a great time. Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm going to have to get off now, but we're going to join again on this live, and I want you to join me live. Thank you so much for taking the time to share this moment with me. And remember, I'm Helen Sadler, your destiny helper. Looking forward to being with you live again. Remember, we have a conference in Honolulu, Hawaii, the 11th through the 16th. If you want to join us, go to destinyhelper.ticketlead.com. And if you want to write me, destinyhelper12s at gmail.com, and we can help you plan. She said, thanks to the other ladies too. Absolutely, Zimbio. Thank you so much. And so, Dr. Brian, Overcoming Narcissist Abuse, has a conference on the 30th in Atlanta, Georgia. Join us there. You can go to Dr. Brian's Overcoming Narcissist Abuse. Look on the community tab. All the information is there. All right, Garita, thank you so much. Thank everyone for that came on this port. I really appreciate you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow. So look for me tomorrow. Lunchtime, Zimbio say, yay. Enjoy enough food for me too. All right, y'all. I love your hugs and kisses, and I will see you on tomorrow. Look for me. If you are not subscribed to this channel, make sure you subscribe so when I come on, she said he loved me after 2 days. Whoa, that was quick. Yeah. They usually go to the top and go down to the bottom. That was really, really, really fast. But I want you to join me on tomorrow. Zimbio, I'm going to look for you because you're my moderator. I'm going to look for you on tomorrow. So make sure that you join me. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so that when I come on, you push that little bell and you will be alerted. I'm looking forward to seeing you on tomorrow. Love you all. God bless. Thank you so much. She says, sorry, I disappeared.